Hi everybody, welcome back to the Dr. Sia channel. In this video here today, we're going to be talking about the number one reason, no, sorry, not the number one reason, one big reason why therapy didn't work for you. Let's get started. Alright, so one of the biggest reasons for why people's therapy doesn't work for them and why your therapy might have not worked out for you is that there is no internal focus. Now, what do I mean by there is no internal focus? That sounds a little bit confusing, so let me explain that. Psychotherapy, any form of psychological treatment is about treating something inside of you. So some problem that you have, something that happens for you inside of you. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't know this. So what people tend to do is to come in, sit down, and talk about some problem outside of themselves. So the psychologist, psychotherapist, the psychiatrist might ask, so what are the problems you're having? Or what do you want help with? Or something like that. And the person will say, oh yeah, the pandemic is really hard on everybody. Okay, yeah, this COVID pandemic is really hard on everybody, but sort of what are the problems that you have? And then the person might say, yeah, well, you know, my boss is really mean and everyone's really stressed out at work and everyone's really having a bad time and there's famine going on in the world and there's economic problems and starvation. And so you might go, right, now if you're not a highly trained therapist, you might not identify that person you're sitting across, you can't actually help in this given point in time. There's nothing you can help them do about Corona, COVID. There's nothing you can help them do about their boss or about their work environment. The only thing that you can help them do is to look at how they react to those things, how they combat those things, how they cope with those things, how they deal inside of themselves with all of the problems that happen for them in their lifetime. So it's really one of those sort of small details that is also the most important thing to be able to do as a highly trained specialist and a highly trained therapist, is to be able to help patients, guide them towards an internal problem, to help them see that when they sit down, that of course those concerns that they have are real life concerns, but that we need to sort of look at the psychological aspect of those concerns. What happens for them in this COVID period? What happens for them at work? What happens for them in their relationships, as opposed to what are their partners like? What are their bosses like? What's it like to live in a world? Or what's it like for people in general to have money or not have money? So it's really one of the biggest issues that I find when my students bring their videos to me and we look together where sort of we call it supervision, where I'm trying to help them become better therapists. It's one of the biggest, most common issues I find and barriers to therapy, which is that the patient just sits down and declares what we call an external problem, something that's not psychological, something outside of them, like, it's been really bad weather lately. And the student, which is a highly trained therapist as well, just goes for that, goes, yeah, it's right. It is really bad weather. What can we do about that really bad weather? Like, it's like, no, you can't do anything about that bad weather. You're not, God. So that's just like sort of the way that it is. So if you've been in therapy and you've found that therapy didn't work for you, I want you to think about this main thing. Did you find an internal focus? Did you sit down and declare, yeah, this is the problem I have inside. Like, I have anxiety and it causes me to not be able to enjoy my relationships or sustain relationships. I have depression and it prevents me from engaging with my friends or going to work, or I've lost motivation. So it's like, are you declaring a problem within you? So I suppose what I'm trying to do with this video is reach the therapists out there who are watching this and focus on, are you reaching an internal problem with your patient? And also, if you are a patient and you're watching this, and often therapists are also patients, anyway, either way, is think about this, that if your therapist didn't help you, guide you towards an internal problem, then it was bound to fail. You were never going to be able to have good therapy that is focused on problem solving. You were never going to be able to problem solve. You were never going to be able to do anything about your depression, about your anxiety, about your stress, about your OCD, about your personality disorder, or whatever is going on. You're going to never be able to do anything about that if you didn't find an internal focus, if you didn't sit down and really hone in on what happens inside of you, your thoughts, your feelings, your urges for behavior. Those are the things that therapy needs to be looking at, not sort of what happens out there somewhere or whatever, but really if we're looking out there somewhere, we need to link it back into what your experience then is with those things. I hope you found this video useful, and I hope it gives you something to think about as you're focusing on your next session in the future. So whether you're a therapist or a patient, I hope that this sort of helps you in that way. Anyway, I think I repeated myself 3 times. I won't edit it out though. I have a stark principle against editing things out. Anyway, subscribe, like, let me know what you think about this ISTDP perspective of things that we have here. And I look forward to seeing you again next time.